Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of BassQuest. I'm super excited to bring y'all some footage today of an absolute giant that I caught on Lake Chickamauga with my good buddy Chris from Bass Attitude Fishing. I apologize for the lack of content lately. It's not because of the fishing, it's just because of my lack of time to get any editing done. I've been super busy with work and all things like that. But anyway, make sure y'all get down there, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel. I'm going to bring y'all some exciting fishing content as well as some really educational stuff that's going to help y'all catch some more fish. I'm trying to get to that 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That would help me out tremendously. But without further ado, we're going to jump into this video. It shows kind of a little bit about our day that day, catching that big fish, of course, cast to catch. And then at the end, we're going to go into some detail about what you guys can do on a tough day to make sure that you catch a fish, you know what I mean? And it's important never to give up, and why it's important never to give up. But anyway, without further ado, let's do this. Get a little B-roll here.
Almost got the power line.
Oh god, giant after it.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Get over there, get over there.
What the hell was that, dude?
I was stuck in the dang.
That was a giant.
I know.
Holy
I was
moly.
stuck in the stuff over there.
Was it trying to eat?
Yeah, it ate it. It missed it the first time I dropped it back down. It's a big one.
That was a big one.
Dude, I saw her body flashed up on it, and then I dropped it back down.
That's what I saw.
And she actually came up and ate it.
Dude.
Oh yeah. Well, I might have pulled her from the outside limbs because I was making racket. I was jangling and jingling in there. Dang it.
Beast, whatever.
Piss. Oh, that's a dandy bass. Get some down right here.
Come up. Eat it. I'm gonna lose my baby.
It's like 25 attempts with the other ones. Yeah, if one comes up and crushes that thing.
Oh my god! Did you see it?
That was a bass.
No, that was a strike.
It was a striper?
That was a strike.
Okay, God, I thought that was a largemouth.
Did you see that?
Yes.
So you want one, right?
God.
Look at that hook. Brand new hook, dude. Brand new
Both
hook.
of them.
Brand
You got
new
him with
hook.
both of them.
Okay, don't get the Mustad freaking KVD specials because they ain't gonna get done.
Good God.
Did you see that thing?
Dude, that thing destroyed
That
it.
was a 30 plus, dude.
I thought that was a freaking largemouth. I thought it was green when I turned around. I was like,
Sorry.
oh dear God. As soon as that bigger bait come across there, she couldn't take it.
Couldn't take it. I'm talking if I had a decent hook on there, I put those small little rinky-dink hook on there. Like what's this nuts was saying? Like I'm going with a smaller hook.
Yeah, that thing
That
just
might have
like,
kept me from losing my bait though.
yeah, yeah.
That would have been everything I could have handled.
There's one flipping us the fin over there off that little brush pile too. There's one jumped right there. Later, suckers.
I was just trophy hunting today, man. Failed. Oh, gear. My terminal tackle let me down.
I'm telling you.
I mean, it made a little bit out of it,
You ain't kidding. Come on, get you one right here. God, that thing looks good. No friggin'
but...
line.
It's sick, isn't it?
I just like watching it.
James always thinks, he's like, Dad, I thought your bait was a real fish again.
Oh yeah. Oh no! Drag! Big one too.
We might catch a fish.
It's a big one.
We might catch a fish. Oh, we're gonna catch
So,
it. Oh,
Good
Lord,
God.
It's a 10,
Oh.
a 10-pounder.
Oh God.
Stay on.
Oh God.
Stay on.
Oh God.
Stay on.
Come here, girl.
Stay on. Holy crap, it's a giant. I got him.
Oh, holy crap.
Success, we win. We win.
That's a big fish, dude.
8.
Yeah.
We win.
Do you hear my drag? I thought I broke the back on my reel, and then I reeled down and I was like, oh.
Like crap.
Y'all see that? That's Big Mama right there.
That's what we came for. I told you, like, little fish don't eat that thing. Only big one.
I got reeled down, I was like, bump. I was like,
You can catch up to it. That was gonna be my next cast too, is across that stick.
sorry, bro.
You beat me too.
That's a pre-spawn 10 any day of the week. Look at the mouth on that. God dang.
She got a belt
Easy,
too.
easy.
She got the link.
Easier.
That's perfect.
That thing's 9 pounds, dude. Feel that thing. Just feel it. I mean, I'm saying 9.
She got the frame and everything, easy.
9.
Link for sure.
You catch that fish in March, she 10.
I don't know if I got that or not.
I did. I jumped up at the last second. I could tell she was gonna do it. All right, hope y'all enjoyed that footage. That fish was an absolute freak. Went 26 inches long, which is actually longer than my personal best, which was 10.42. So I really wish I could catch that fish during pre-spawn, but I was super happy to have her. Anyway, guys, what we've been doing lately is a lot of backwater fishing. We've been fishing main lake grass, things like that. A lot of shallow fishing. Most of my deep stuff seems to have kind of died on me the past few weeks, but that shallow bite's really picking up. It's kind of feeling almost like a fall deal going on already. But one thing I want to talk to you about is when you get into these dog days of summer, even if the fish are biting good, you'll have these really tough days. I don't know if it's a moon phase thing. That particular day, the current fluctuations were a little bit weird, so that the water was pushing back into the area we were fishing and pulling out into the area, and it was changing the pH in the water. The water was a weird color. Things just weren't looking right. But one thing we didn't do is we didn't give up. We grounded out. Even though I got that bite right at the beginning, we just kept grinding and grinding and grinding until we finally stumbled across the right fish. And one thing that we were doing was fishing for the right kind of fish. A lot of tournament anglers talk about this all the time, but you can't catch big fish if you're not fishing for them. So I never did downsize to a little drop shot or a Ned rig or something that would get bit more often. I stayed with this big bait here. And one thing that I did, a decision I made when I first had that one fish y'all saw, I got hung in the ivy. There's an absolute monster comes up, tries to eat my bait a couple times, and I missed it. That fish was 6, 7, 8 pounds, who knows, it was a real big one. But I had a 3/4 ounce head on this Magnum shaky head, and then I had my big worm presentation on the back end. We're gonna talk more about this bait after this tournament that's coming up, because I gotta try to win it with this thing. But anyway, what I did is I dropped down to a 1/2 ounce weight. I was getting hung up with that 3/4 ounce in that shallower water. I wasn't able to pull it cleanly through any kind of grass that I was coming up on. So I went to that 1/2 ounce weight, and I felt like it was falling a little bit slower. It just felt right, like that would be what would get bit. And sure enough, I had a big fish on in a brush pile, lost it, and then I threw out there and caught that giant. And the funny thing is, that fish, this is actually the same rod and reel, it actually did end up jacking up my braking system. I think I had it tightened down too far from the last punching season or whatnot, but ended up the drag for some reason is not full like it used to be. So in other words, instead of having maybe 15-pound max drag, I feel like with this particular reel right now, I've got more like 10, which is interesting. So I'm gonna have to get in here. There's a little kind of like a neoprene pad kind of deal, and fix my drag system on this particular reel. But I just wanted to talk with y'all a little bit about that. You know, right now, if you want to catch a big one, fish some shallow grass, fish some backwater areas, find the big bait, you know, find what those big fish are going to be eating. In our case, we were fishing around some big gizzard shad and some golden shiners and stuff like that. So if you find that food source and you find those kind of areas, the big fish are going to be there. You just got to kind of wait it out, bide your time. We did end up seeing some big fish that followed a swim bait and that kind of thing, so we knew they were in the area and we just kept after it. That cast that I caught that fish on was actually gonna be our last cast of the day. Chris had to go pick up his son from school, so that was the last cast, and just happened to pick the right spot. Saw kind of a long tapering point coming off a peninsula looking deal back in this little area, and there was a lone stick coming up, and I knew from past experience that was a log jam that kind of pushed back into there. So I made that long bomb cast, which is really important if you're talking about big fish. You don't want to get too close and spook them. Made that long bomb cast. She hit it. I set the hook, and even after that drag slipped, I didn't panic. That's a big thing when you're fighting big fish. I'll probably do a video on that pretty soon, because I see a lot of guys that either overhorse a fish or they fight a fish and end up losing, especially a big one, a trophy. Everybody tends to kind of jump out of their skin, and I've caught enough of them now to where I feel like I've got a system down. As soon as that drag started to slip, you saw me, I was using my thumb and thumbing the spool so that I could get enough pressure to actually pull the fish towards me and keep it coming my direction. Didn't let her head turn or anything. This is actually a 7-11 mat punching rod with 65-pound braid to a 25-pound test copoly leader. And I've been using this copolymer. Alex Rudd from Alex Rudd Fishing actually turned me on to this. It's P-Line CXX. It's a lot cheaper than the fluorocarbon I was buying, but I feel like for a leader material, it's actually a lot better because it does have more stretch and it's extremely abrasive resistant. So I haven't had any trouble as far as breaking off as much on the hook set like I was before with my fluorocarbon, because I feel like it's not as much shock. I'm bad about doing that slackline hook set and everything. But anyway, guys, I'm rambling on at this point. Y'all make sure to smash that like button for me. Comment down below some other videos you might want to see in the future. And subscribe to my channel, guys. Get me to that 10,000 subscriber mark. We're going to do another giveaway soon. Going to be giving away some of this awesome t-shirts right here, which you can get them at BassAttitudeFishing.com. But as always, I hope this week finds you out on the water, and I'll catch you there.